finally, we got the ultimate advanced movement tutorial that you guys have all been waiting for. When I tell y'all, there have been so many people down to my YouTube and my TikTok that have been continuously requesting this video, and I finally got it for y'all boys. Now, I am recording this intro right after I finished recording the video itself, so I do want to say, if I came off kind of confusing when I was explaining how to move in this video, I do want to apologize. Although I feel like I can properly commentate when it comes to build videos and certain videos that I do for you guys, I do still have a hard time commentating in certain aspects when it comes to just forming my words. I've been like that forever, so I do want to apologize for that in advance. But the goal of this video, of course, is to get y'all boys to move crazy like your boy, you heard? And if you do not know how I move, and this is your first time seeing my channel, I do end up showing a preview of how my movement looks in action, feel me? So, like I said, I got the ultimate advanced movement tutorial finally for y'all boys! But before this video starts, you know what I gotta do! Ah! My boys! Finally! When I tell y'all been requesting this for so long, I already said all that in the intro. I'm not gonna do this again, feel me? We finally got the ultimate freaking movement tutorial for y'all boys, but I'm gonna calm down a bit because I really want to be clear when I'm talking in this video. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys 4 to 5 steps on how to have the best movement in the freaking game, okay? Now, a master don't usually always reveal his tricks, but I'm gonna tell y'all as much as I freaking can to really get you guys playing better for PvP. But if you are new to the channel and this is your first time seeing my content, you're definitely not gonna probably trust me on if I really have the best movement. So let me show y'all a little clip real quick, you heard? Now that is an example of some top tier movement by your boy himself, feel me? Like I said, we have 4 steps we're finna freaking go through, feel me? So let's start with the first step. Alright y'all, for the first step, I really want to just get into the basics, guys. As you guys can see, of course, when you first start Xenoverse 2, this is for a lot of beginners, by the way, too. The first things you realize when it comes to movement is really just vanishing, Z-vanishing. As a start of getting better with movement overall, guys, you guys are going to want to practice the basics. So I'd say if you are new to the game, fairly new to the game, man, and you're fighting people on PvP or in rank, of course, you want to start just doing basic combos like this, man. So when I'm talking about this, I'm more talking about the dashing too. And then in regards to Z-vanishing, you want to be able to just move around your opponents like this. I did a little too much. I'm truly not trying to come off confusing in this video. That's why I'm trying to take my time. But basically, guys, in order to get good at movement overall, guys, you're going to want to get the basics down. I also do want to talk about step dashing like this. You know, I think this is a big part of this movement in the game as a whole. But we're going to get a little bit deeper into that because I feel like step dashing has a lot to do with infinite and close range combat. By the way, my style is very much close range combat, but it's a combination of, you know what? Before I even explain that, I'm going to get a little bit more into step 1 so I can explain a little bit more because I don't want this to be confusing. Like I said, once again, I'm repeating myself already. I'm trying to explain it. Freaking tutorial. Like I was saying, I feel like I can explain this better now. Basically, there's 2 things for movement in the game. You have dashing, right? And you have Z-vanishing. Now, in order for you to get good with movement overall, you're going to want to have to master both dashing and Z-vanishing. Personally, to me, in order to master dashing, you're going to want to know infinite. So before we even get into Z-vanishing, sorry, not dashing, you're going to want to master dashing first. So like I said before, if you want to get better with dashing, when you're fighting people in PvP, man, make sure to just keep going into these type of combo strings. We are currently on a male Saiyan, so we're doing the male Saiyan combo strings, but always make sure to dash forward and try to practice catching your opponents. Because some people that are new to the game might mess up and do this and then drop their combo by mistake, feel me? So like I said, for beginners, step 1 is really for beginners, or actually overall, because this is going to get more deep into why I move the way I move, man. You're going to want to just get used to just dashing forward and catching your opponent, man. It is a very useful strategy in PvP, and a lot of times when you drop a counter, you're going to want to get back on your opponent. Now to get into step 2 on the importance of both Z vanishing and dashing and how I combine the two. Alright, y'all, this is one of the most important parts of my movement. One thing I hear a lot of people say sometimes on my TikTok or on some of my videos about movement is that they feel like this part of my movement, like you saw in the clip too, like this, is very useless. Now let me explain why I do that. This part of my movement is not necessarily what's making my movement good. What this part of my movement is doing is basically tricking and playing mind games with the opponent to not know where I am going. I never told anybody this, but I figured this out, I'd say, like 2 years ago when I started really sweating on this game. And I realized, look, actually, let me use my subs for example. All y'all subs in the comments below. I have fought you guys, some of you guys in group posts. Let me know in the comments below. Every time I fight one of you guys, or at least a decent amount of you guys always say like, yo, Destroyer, why the hell do you move like that? Yo, Destroyer, why are you so hard to hit? The reason why it can be hard to hit me is because you don't often know where I go. Now, how the hell do you do that? You remember how I was talking to you guys about in the first step about combining Z vanishing, dashing. I don't want to confuse y'all, and Z vanishing, right? As soon as you're able to master both dashing and at least know how to properly Z vanish, which is doing this, I don't really know the move controls, but you'll figure it out. I don't know how to explain the move controls to me. All I am doing simply, as simple as it sounds, is combining both dashing and Z vanishing together. So that looks a little bit like something like this. So when you guys see me move like this in PvP when I'm fighting, all I'm doing is throwing my opponent off. Remember, as long as you master being able to vanish and Z-dash forward, all you have to do is just combine the two, man. That's all I am doing. Z vanishing, right? Like I'll show you guys, I'll do it a little bit slower. So like, let's start first with not Z vanishing, dashing, right? Then stop dashing, Z vanish, dash, right? Stop dashing, Z vanish, dash, right? Stop dashing, Z vanish, feel me? So it's a very simple pattern, but it can look a lot more complicated when fighting. Now, like I said, I will repeat myself one more time just in case you got it hear me clearly. That is simply to play mind games on your opponent. It has nothing to do with getting into actually attacking your opponent. So all the people saying that is useless freaking movement in my TikTok comments or YouTube comments, like I said, guys, it's simply for the purpose of playing mind games on your opponent. Because if your opponent's moving all around like this, they're not telegraphed. And since we're not, if you are moving around like this, you're not telegraphed. And if you're not telegraphed, it's going to be very hard for your opponent to know where you are going. Sounds crazy, but it works very well. When I say telegraphed, I mean like this. Say you're fighting an opponent and all he's doing is this the whole time. I fought so many people like this too. After a while, or at least me personally, I would realize that, hey, I have to perfect block, or I have to try to block as soon as they dash forward because they're doing the same thing. However, or actually, no, another example of a telegraph fighting style is players that like side vanish a lot and side step all the time. From off of that alone, you can tell you're either fighting a very passive player or a player that doesn't attack immediately. This is a passive player, feel me? In regards to Z vanishing, you'll also find people that do this a lot too. After a while, it becomes predictable and you can easily just dash forward to get to them a lot of time. So when we combine the two steps, right, it can throw your opponent off because he has no idea where you're going to come from, where the hell you're going to do, and what you're going to do next, feel me? So that is step 2. I pray I explained that right, because you know your boy commentary be crazy sometimes. We are going to get straight into step 2 for this, step 3 for this movement tutorial and go crazy, feel me? Alright, y'all, for step 3, which I'd call probably the most important step, is making decisions based off your opponent's movement. Like I was saying in step 2, how we do this little Z vanishing and dashing combination, right? After you do that, the goal is to get in close counter with your opponent. Now, I think the issue why people fail to move all the time here is because they don't always know what to do when they're in a close encounter with their opponents. Basically, when you get in close range with your opponents after confusing them, right, and you get here, right in a position where you're face to face with them, it becomes a chess match. When I say a chess match, I mean all you're doing is trying to figure out ways you can hit your opponent without them hitting you, feel me? So to give a better example, I'm going to put him on super strong. He might violate me because, to be honest, some of these cons be unpredictable as hell. But look, I dash back, right, vanish, do my thing. Okay, he's Z-vanishing at me. Like I said, I dash back, right, vanish, do my thing, then I come close, and now I figure out what I do. I went strength to the infinite, key cancel sometimes, or key dash too. Wait for him to make a decision, maybe block there because it was predictable, and right back into another time of strength. To explain that a bit more clear, when you're in a close encounter with your opponent, you're purely just making decisions based off what your opponent does. So sometimes when you finish doing a little thing to confuse your opponent like I do, and you dash forward, that first attack that I just did that landed may miss. So what you would do after is make a decision either, alright, say, most likely your opponent's gonna attack you after you miss that if they dash like past it, feel me? What you would do is either key cancel back and reset back into the dashing and Z vanishing. That sounds so confusing. I can literally tell by the way I'm saying it. So give your boy a second. I'm gonna try to find a better way to explain this because I feel like I'm saying it so freaking bad.
2 hours later.
Alright, y'all, I think I can put my words together a bit better after taking time to decide how I would say this. Basically, guys, when you get into a close encounter with your opponent, all you're doing is making decisions based off of their primary movements. So, I'll give you an example. Say your opponent, right, comes at you, right, or after we do this little vanishing thing, say you're here, right, and your opponent goes to hit you. The goal is, now when you're here, now instead of doing the extra Z vanishing and dash canceling like I said, now you decide, hey, am I going to move to the side and dodge his attack, or I'm going to go straight after him, you feel me? That might still sound confusing to you guys, but my point is that once you finish trying to trick your opponent and play mind games, as soon as you attack it is when you have to really use your mind to start making better decisions. So, after you do this, right, which is I call the reset. So, when I was telling you guys in step 2 about combining, dashing, and forward, this is really just a reset. As soon as you get back into close range, which is the chess match, right, you can either go straight after them and attack, right, take that risk of not missing it, or you can go forward, stop, drop your cancel, and wait to see what your opponent is going to do. The goal is, at the end of the day, once you're in a close encounter with your opponent, you're playing based off of both their style and the risks you're willing to take. So, personally, a risk would be, let's put the CSC back on super strong. Alright, y'all, so I'm back with the Z dash and canceling the leave. All I'm doing right is making decisions after based on what the opponent's doing. So I'm gonna dash back. He hit me back because comms play freaking weird. But as soon as I get back into close range, then, as you guys can see there, I stopped, right? I blocked. Decided that he tried to hit me. I dashed to the side and continued my combo. I probably explained that wrong as well, but you freaking saw it, so you know what I'm talking about, people. Guys, for this video, I'm going to end up going into a real match to actually show you guys what I'm exactly talking about, my movie, and more showcasing it, because I am not the best explainer. But basically, like I said, after you do the baiting progress and you get here, it's really just about knowing what decisions to make. And how do you get better at that? Realistically, you just have to keep fighting people, man. Part of getting good at games overall, especially games that have like solid PvP, in my opinion, Xenoverse has solid PvP for me besides the cheese and all that, is learning how game mechanics works. And once you learn how game mechanics works and what things people do, man, and it becomes muscle memory, you're able to decide like, hey, if he's gonna hit me here, as soon as I become into a close encounter, I can dash forward here, I can dash back here, I can reset again and go back into my state to try to make a different decision, you know? Part of being good at movement too is conserving your stamina. That might sound weird and that might not sound like it has to do with movement, but it really does have to do with movement, because if you get hit on accident by losing that chess match and you waste your stamina, man, it's gonna be a lot harder to play that chess match because you're going to be too worried about your stamina. For me, let's get straight into step 4, and then I'm going to try to explain a little bit in more depth of what I'm talking about for my movement as a whole. Then we're going to do like 1 or 2 ranked matches and end the video. For me. Alright, y'all, for step 4, what I wanted to talk about is infinites. Now, although, like I said, I kind of explained to you guys the whole like confusing your opponents in step 2 and getting forward and trying to play that chess match to see where you can attack and hit your opponents, right? I think a big part of when you attack is knowing how to infinite combo, feel me? So like I said, for the first step, I did kind of try to save the whole dash stepping for another step, which is this step, infinites and thing, because dash stepping, like dashing, like you see, like you have the side step and the dashing forward, has a lot to do with making infinites. I'll give you examples. So like the same XY infinite, you're gonna want to know how to dash forward. Sometimes it will drop, but as you can see there, I was able to dash forward quickly in XY. Now, after you learn to properly dash forward and catch your opponent, I'm missing here because it doesn't always match, you're gonna want to learn to go into the Z vanish and catch your opponent back. Now, a lot of people have hard with that infinite. It took me a while to get used to that infinite, or it took me a while to get used to that infinite a while ago when I learned it. But basically, all you're doing is basically the first step, which is Z vanishing, and continuing your combo string, right? So that would mean that you don't want to overly Z vanish. So when you say we do an XY, right, and I keep Z vanishing past, it's gonna miss. The goal is to Z vanish quickly after the XY and then catch your opponent again. Go straight back into another freaking Z vanish, and then you can continue to infinite combo your opponent. Why do I think infinites are important? A lot of people call like the XY infinite that I do cheesy, or sometimes, not a lot of people, because Mostly I'll be showing your boy big support, feel me? But a decent amount of comments I get say that like this X Y infinites can be cheesy and just not fair, but really it's not. All it's doing is allowing you to go into different combo strings, man. So a big part of, like I said, that chess match after you finish baiting out your opponent and getting close to it is being able to infinite and continue your combo strings after you get your... Guys, I had to pause there because I was stuttering on my words crazy. Basically, after you get into your chess match, you guys, I think, should know what I mean by chess match already, and you're able to actually catch your opponent, you're going to want to be able to continue your combo string, feel me? Because what's the point of winning the freaking chess match? When I say chess match, of course, I'm meaning being able to land a hit on your opponent after you get in close encounter, if you don't know what the hell to do after. So like I was saying, in step one, you want to either be able to do the dashboard, or even more advanced, do the infinites. Now, a good thing about infinites is that it extremely intimidates your opponents, man. And when I tell y'all, bro, like I saw in the beginning, when you do infinites on opponents, bro, they gonna know you nice at the freaking game, alright? Like, there's no doubt. Most people who do infinites at the game are, like, truly freaking talented at the game, for me. So, when it comes to infinites, man, as a whole, man, it's partly just what you want to do to be able to continue your combos. As you guys can see, you know, some people call me the combo king. I'll probably only call myself that, to be honest. But basically, part of why I got good with making combos is simply because I learned how to infinite. That sounds weird as hell, but basically, once I learned how to infinite, I kind of got a better understanding of how movement works as a whole and how moves are able to connect together. I don't know if you guys realize, but like, look, I'll do this combo again for my real same video. I usually infinite first into it, go into the God Splitter, and then do the combo, feel me? The reason why I infinite first is because it allows me to go into a bunch of different combo strings, man. And these combo strings can sometimes have to do with just making a move, feel me? I don't like how I explain a lot of things I said in this video, so I'm going to go into like 2 or 3 matches and try to explain a bit more while I'm fighting why I move the way I move. I'm going to apologize right now if I explain that bad. I could have explained it a lot better than what I'm thinking, but just by off of how I'm talking, I feel like I explained it confusing, okay? So what I'm going to do is actually, real quick, before we get to ring match, I'm going to leave a page, or after I talk and say the sentence, sorry, I'm going to leave a panel right here of basically how to get better with movement in a better explanation to me. Then we're going to do like 3 matches of me trying to explain it a bit more, and that's going to be the video for me. Let's get straight to it, guys. Alright, my boys, I honestly feel like I can kind of get a better explanation while I'm in action. This guy did pick World Tournament, so this should be fun. But basically, now we're at step 1, or step 2, where we play the little bait, and then we get close into the chess match. So when I say chess match, I mean, now's the baiting process, then we get close range and figure out if we want to attack or not. I probably still said that freaking word because I can't just watch you freaking lag. What's going on, man? What the hell? Bro! I'm done! Well, the homie freaking lagged out in the middle of my terrible explanation. But guys, actually, I'm going to try to be a little quieter here. I'll say things here and there just to show you guys how my movement looks in action. Like I said, the bait process, then try to get close and try to make decisions, you know? I feel like I explained that very wrong, and a lot of you guys are probably going to be laughing at me in the comments. Maybe freaking not. Let me know if you understood what I said in the comments below, okay? I might edit this to make it a little bit more so you guys are a little bit better to understand, but like, bro, I don't think I speak English, man. I'm born in the U.S., but like, I think my first language is like freaking stupid or something. Like, is there a language called stupid? Because if so, I want to freaking know, man, because it's just, my commentary be feeling mad dumb sometimes, bro. I'll be trying. But like, as you guys can see there, that's where the infinites become important. I am running after it, make sure that helps. Like I said, we do the little dash process. He doesn't know where I'm going, and then we go straight after him, you know? A big part of it, which I did not mention in the video, is once you do this little freaking dash canceling thing, bro, the moment you decide to go into close combat and play that chess match, it's going to be even hard for your opponent to read when you come to do close combat, feel me? And of course, my stamina gets broken there, but I think you guys get the point that I'm trying to say. Basically, the main goal in getting better at movement and PvP overall is to just understand your opponent and yourself, you know? Not yourself, doesn't make sense. You should understand your freaking self. But understanding your opponent and the movement in this game, I don't know why the hell I said it. You see why I get mad about my commentary, feel me? Everything I mean to say doesn't come out the way I want it to, feel me? You're not catching me with that freaking new move, buddy, okay? It's not happening. I think a big part of also when... I do also want to say, when you mess up during that chess match and say your move messes up and you miss, the opponent comes after you, that's when you want to put key canceling into action to reset and get straight back into that chess match. Straight back into the confusion again, which was step 2. When I say confusing, I'm more referring to the fact that you want to get straight back into baiting your opponents and not know where you're going to move next for me. Let me concentrate and cook this guy real. Try hard more, destroy it, time out. Or slide. Tell me, is that the end of it? But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. I'm going to wrap it up there. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video tutorial. Tell me what you feel about the advice I gave in the comments below. To wrap it up, even though I'll probably edit this in some way to try to make it more understanding, I'll probably said wrap it up a million freaking times. But to say basically overall, like I said, let me get my paper so I can explain this a little better, right? Okay. Step 1, the basics. You're going to want to get good at regular Z vanishing and dashing. You cannot expect good to get better at movement overall if you're not good at the basics. So make sure you practice just fighting your opponents with either simply dashing or simply Z vanishing to catch your opponents off guard. After you get perfect at that step, which is step 1, you're going to want to go into step 2, which is combining both the Z vanishing and the dashing. Why are we combining the Z vanishing and the dashing? Once again, that is for the purpose of confusing your opponent. When you don't combine Z vanishing and dashing, a lot of times it can make your decisions telegraph. When I say telegraph, I mean it can make it very predictable. The reason why a lot of y'all, sometimes when y'all fight me, sometimes be like, how the hell you move like that, or it's kind of confusing, or it's very fast. I sound like I'm flexing, but this is generally what I hear. Is because I'm kind of combining both dashing and Z vanishing to confuse my opponents so they don't know when I'm going to go into attack. Speaking of going into and attacking, that's step 3, which is making decisions based off of your opponent's movement. So when you go into attack, that becomes the chess match. Why I say chess match? Because that's either the make it or break it stage, where either you decide to attack your opponent straight away, decide to dash in and block, decide to sidestep after your opponent hits you, or what, for me. And that is the most important part of it, because that is the deciding factor if you're going to beat your opponent or not. That's why I was saying my whole Z vanishing and dashing combination is not useless movement. It's for the purpose of tricking opponents and not knowing when you're going to go into attack, which makes it easier for you to hit your opponents. I don't think I said it like that before. So now you hear it, my boys. And step 4, learning how to do infinites. If you learn how to do the basic infinites, which I'm pretty sure there's probably other tutorials out there as well. If you guys want a pure Z vanishing and infinite tutorial, let me know. If you learn how to do infinites properly, then you're going to get a lot better at the game overall. Just understanding how things work and how things connect, how CACs move and how CACs connect. Bunch of different CACs and casts have different infinites, so you're gonna be really a lot. So yeah, that is the ultimate advanced move tutorial. I know I was a young line this video being hype. I was trying, like I said, guys, you guys know the reason why I can record builds a little bit easier is because I got so used to recording builds that I know the basic script or the basic sayings that I use for it, right? So I can like more joke around. But for things that are more serious in regards to me actually concentrating on what I have to say, I have a hard time commentating because I'm not the greatest at putting my words together. So I truly hope you guys enjoyed this. If you didn't, you can be honest with me. Just leave your feedback in the comments. I don't take criticism bad. I can take criticism. I'm not a soft little kid, I can take criticism. Oh man, I'm 18, you're. See, look, I could have a little energy in these books. But that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. That is the ultimate move tutorial. You guys have all been waiting for it down to my TikTok and my YouTube channel. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Got plenty of bangers to come by the time this video is uploaded. I'm probably on vacation, so I got a lot of freaking builds just scheduled to drop for y'all. So y'all still got bangers when your boy is not even here. Feel me? That's the freaking video. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. I'm out. Peace.
Some may feel and say, ooh, do you hate? You be back and forth and up and down with hesitation. Don't try to talk down on others now, get on the way. Or pack your boogie board and boogie boy, get out the way. I would then reply, oh my reply is simply basic. This is so